Faithful is a cone geyser in Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming, United States. It was named in 1870 during the Washburn-Langford Dome expedition and was the first geyser in the park to be named. It is a highly predictable geothermal feature, erupting on average every 92 minutes, with the period between eruptions ranging from as short as 35 minutes to as long as 120 minutes. The geyser and the nearby Old Faithful Inn are part of the Old Faithful Historic District. Cliff Geyser is an active, frequently erupting, and easily accessible fountain geyser located in Yellowstone's Black Sand Basin near Old Faithful. Situated on the bank of Iron Spring Creek, it shoots water to feet high in a cycle lasting roughly to minutes, often erupting twice per hour during active phases. Grand Prismatic Spring in Yellowstone's Midway. Geyser Basin is the largest hot spring in the U.S., third largest globally, renowned for its vivid, rainbow-colored bacteria mats surrounding a deep blue, deep center. It measures in diameter and is best viewed via the boardwalk or the elevated overlook trail. Norris Geyser Basin is the hottest, oldest, and most dynamic hydrothermal area in Yellowstone National Park, renowned for its rapidly changing features and acidic waters. Located at the intersection of three major faults, this highly active basin features Steamboat Geyser, the world's tallest active geyser, and offers a barren, otherworldly landscape of steaming, colorful springs. Grand Geyser is a fountain geyser in the Upper Geyser Basin of Yellowstone National Park in the United States. It is the tallest predictable geyser known. It was named by Ferdinand Vanderveer Hayden in 1871. Grand's fountain reaches a height of as much as 200 feet, with a duration of 9 to 12 minutes. Its eruptions occur in a series of 1 to 4, rarely as many as 5 bursts. Grand erupts every 4 to 8 hours. It belongs to the Grand Group, or Grand Geyser Complex, and its eruption is connected to those of the other geysers in the group, especially the adjacent Vent Geyser and Turbine Geyser. For a few hours before an eruption by Grand, Turbine Geyser erupts for a duration of 5 minutes about every 17 to 22 minutes. Grand's eruption begins within 1 to 2 minutes of the start of one of Turbine's eruptions. It can also erupt just before Turbine's eruption begins, with Vent Geyser erupting shortly after Grand starts erupting. On occasion, Grand will stop erupting after 7 to 9 minutes, only to restart with a usually taller fountain a minute or two later. Grand has been known to rarely experience over half a dozen restarts in a single eruption period. After Grand ceases its eruption, Vent and Turbine can continue to erupt for another hour. As of 2018, Grand Geyser has become extremely predictable, with nearly every eruption being 6 to 7 hours apart. Upon the finish of an eruption, Grand's pool is empty and takes about 5 hours to refill. Canary Spring is a vibrant, frequently changing hot spring located on the Upper Terrace Drive at Mammoth Hot Springs in Yellowstone National Park, USA. Known for its bright orange, yellow, and green colors caused by thermophilic bacteria, this popular feature is characterized by travertine terraces that look like melted marshmallows. It is accessible via boardwalks, with the best viewing from a small parking area on the one-way Upper Terrace Drive. Minerva Terrace is a prominent, rapidly changing travertine terrace formation within the Mammoth Hot Springs area of Yellowstone National Park. Known for its brilliant algae-tinted colors, orange, brown, yellow, and ornate white or gray-colored calcium carbonate formations, it sits in the lower terrace area. Located on the lower terraces of Mammoth Hot Springs in Wyoming, created by hot water depositing limestone, travertine, this feature is constantly changing and at times active or inactive, e.g. in the 1900s, 1951, and recently. The terraces, named for the Roman goddess of artists, have shifted due to earthquake activity. It has experienced active and inactive cycles, including a period in the 1900s when it was completely dry, later reactivating in 1951.